This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, I blind rank some cakes. We figure out what challenge I'm doing next and why are reaction videos content thieves. And 3, 2, 1, hola Dan, ¿qué tal?
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast. To myself, Dammy.
I'm fine, thank you, Dan. And me, Tom Hall.
Yeah, I would have ignored you if you asked me in English anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, I don't know any Spanish. That's a lie. I do know obviously a couple of words of Spanish, but not anywhere near the level that Tom does. Tom is
not at all.
Proper intense on the Spanish.
One class done.
There we go. Full on.
I know. I got a book. Like what was weird is it's literally in a school, like a secondary school, and you have to like go in at like
Where do you think it was going to be?
7:30. I don't know. You just assume it's going to be like in a community center or something like that. But it was literally it makes for perfect business sense. They rent out the rooms like afterwards, but to companies.
Yeah.
Look at my book.
Oh god, is it going to be a picture book? Picture book for like 5-year-olds in Spain.
This feels so schooly, doesn't it?
Yes, that is very schooly.
All in Spanish, as it should be, probably. But yeah, all very exciting. So I've got like Duolingo, that, my weekly class with my other humans, and started listening to some Spanish podcasts as well. I think I need to watch some other stuff.
That must be a bit quick.
What do you mean?
As in like, is it not like as in a Spanish podcast, as in people talking in Spanish, or like a learning?
No, learning
I was
thinking it's
not.
I've started listening to off menu in Spanish. Like,
yeah, you never know.
I mean, maybe that might be a good thing to do. To be fair, my video? I feel like this is going to be a show where my video is going to fuck up every now and again. Not too sure why.
No, I don't mind. I don't need to see your face.
You don't mind. It's all right. It's all right. Well, the YouTube audience is growing down, so that's what I'm concerned about.
Oh, is it? Oh, shit.
Well, it's only growing because obviously my escapades at the moment of I'm literally putting just one of those things where I put my content on every channel and see what happens.
Funny how what happens, isn't it, when you do that?
Yeah, it's crazy when people start watching it. Mad, like I'm looking at the analytics because we'll talk about because we were talking about content last week, weren't we? But my challenge, I'm doing more challenges on my thing. I quite enjoy the content. It's quite fun. I love narrating about myself as well. Very easy exactly. Or just like what's happening in my brain. That's what it's doing. Because I knew when I did like my combine tests previously, I was like that content always went quite well. So yeah, but it was interesting. It's quite interesting to look at the analytics. Like, so obviously I've not like done much on my channel. It's literally just to hold either the podcast or exercise videos for people and like lectures and stuff like that. So my watch time this week is 40 hours. I was like, yeah, that's a lot higher than it was. 600% higher. Believe it or not.
It is pretty decent actually. But I guess with longer form content, it's a little bit easier to get those high numbers, I guess.
But the longer form content, it's just because it's the daily challenge stuff. That is, it's maximum 90 seconds. Those because obviously I'm putting this real.
It's watchable though, isn't it? It's watchable.
Yeah. Like it's quite interesting. Obviously, like clicking on the video, seeing the most like honestly, nearly 50% of people watch it all the way to the end on YouTube, which is quite interesting. Whereas on Instagram. It's kind of like it's between 70 and 90 seconds, all of those reels, and the average watch rate is like 23 to 26 seconds, I think, something like that. So, which is still fairly decent for like how long people are sticking around for. But it's interesting, very interesting. What coaches should be doing, I guess, with the content, kind of looking at the analytics a little bit. So definitely everything's jumping up. And the amount of fucking comments I've had in people in real life, you don't fucking like the videos, you pricks. But you're watching them because you keep fucking asking me about it. It's like I'm so invested. I'm like, fucking share it then, you prick.
I'm fucking invested, and I fucking know you. I watch
You
it all the
haven't
way
you
through.
Dan's only I think you've only liked one of the fucking videos. I've released 10.
I watched them all. Yeah, yeah. This
Yeah.
is a great example, though. It's exactly what people need to hear, though, is that people watch
It's
stuff without liking
literally
it.
so funny. Like
Like,
when they were talking about it, it was just
literally.
I was just like over the 10 days that I've released it every single day, obviously consistent. And must be 20, 30 people in person and just asked me about it or invested. Like, what's coming today? I'm like, yeah, fucking
Okay.
watch it, mate. Like, fuck off. Like you could see what's coming, but it's this, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. So Dan's gonna be excited about the one today. But I think you'll get annoyed. So I
Oh,
think
I
you'll
can annoy all of them, mate, just seeing your face, so it's fine. Anyway, speaking of being annoyed, it's a lovely segue into what I wanted to talk about on today's podcast because
Hmm.
I feel like Tom has not been his authentic self. And I'm going to call him out on it because I saw someone's story the other day that suggests that
Was it
Tom
you?
is not quite the person he claims to be. So, for those who don't know, Tom has been on his little vendetta against the Pano Raisin for fuck knows how long, right? And and all of a sudden, I caught the glimpse of someone's story who's Clara, who is your client currently,
Mm.
soon to be my client as well, the poor woman. Anyway, I
No, that's
caught a glimpse of her
brave, that, isn't it?
story.
That's brave.
I caught a glimpse of her story, and it said possibly the only place that I would try a Pano Raisin, and I had to skip back, and I went, sorry, little face, Tom Hall. The man who slates them all the time, even though they're actually okay, right?
They're not, are they?
Going back on his word and going, oh yeah, probably the place I would try it though. Unbelievable. I was shocked to the core that a man of such principle could flip flop that easily just based on what city he was in. He would eat said pastry just because he was in Paris.
All right,
I think
let's get the chat up on Clara.
no, I don't mind. I know what I saw. I don't think you need to go
I
much
wrote,
further into it.
I have been tricked on her story. I was
Don't
like,
think there was any trickery involved, mate.
literally
I
tricked.
think I don't recall seeing anything other than you replying to the story about the Pana Raisin, which means that that was an
No,
internal thought that you had. It wasn't baited out. You just went,
she did bait me because she mentioned it me in that story.
right, okay. Well, even still, I think a leopard clearly can change its spots, Tom. So
Because I had to reply
there's
because
that.
she mentioned me in the story, and then I replied to the story mention,
No, sure,
and
sure, sure,
then I
sure.
wrote the only place I might was in massive capitals, might
See, that
have
just to
one.
me emphasized the fact that you would do it because you're like, well, if I was there, I would have to try it. But anyway, um, so yeah, I just wanted to call you out on it, Tom, because I think it's disgraceful. That's like me going, oh, I love CrossFit and it's really good for shoulders, and you should probably do it because it's going to be great for building muscle as well, and just going back on
Absolutely
everything I ever
not.
said.
Absolutely not.
You changed man. You're a changed man. That's what I'm
I'm
saying. You're a
just
changed
saying, like,
man.
I would eat one, but it's such a ridiculous move on anybody's behalf because there's so much better pastry there. If it's the last pastry in the pastry shop, bakery, they're normally called,
They are called bakeries,
then
Tom. Yeah.
boulangerie, where Clara was. But
Yeah.
if it's the last one, then I might have it.
Okay. Well, and it also leads me on to what I wanted to do today on this is that I know that I've been the subject of these blind tests, blind rankings up to this point. But now Tom is going to do a blind ranking because this is kind of a mix.
Fucking
This is kind of a
hell.
mix
Dan's had some time
between
on his hands today.
yeah, you know it. This is a mix between last week's podcast where we talked a little bit
Cool.
about
Not cool.
call, yeah.
Is that you just written this into diary? Tom's mentoring.
Yeah. I'm just literally going through like my members group spiel. So we're going to blind rank because based on last week's podcast where we talked a bit about cakes, right? It got me thinking because I was like, some of these cakes weren't that great, right? The ones that were selected, and they were supposed to be the best ones in the supermarkets and that sort of shit, right? And then it kind of links a little bit to the Pana Raisin bakery thing, and I thought about doing bakery items, but it's too broad, right? So I've got eight, Tom, eight classic British cakes that you can get
Yeah,
at
okay.
most good cake shops. I would say bakeries if you want to call them bakeries, but I'm talking like individual pieces of cake that you would have with a coffee or a tea in a very English kind of cafe. You go to somewhere in Bath, somewhere in Essex, I'm sure you'd find it. Not so much in London because they're fucking weird in London. Um, Old traditional English cakes, right? Now, I'm going to do blind ranking, and there's eight. There's eight. Um, there's only one of them I think I might need to explain, but I think you'll know what it is. So anyway, are you ready for the eight, Tom? I want to see where your loyalties lie because fucking after the fucking Palaraisan, I've fucking got no clue where this is going to go.
Blind ranking eight things.
Yeah. So number
Okay.
one, Bakewell tart.
All right. Okay. Can we clarify this on is it Bakewell tart as in like the big one that's made and you get a slice of a proper
Yes,
homemade
that one.
big Bakewell tart and
Yes,
not the
that one.
Mr. Kipling one, which is
No,
like
it's a big
tiny
one. It's a
and
big
it's got
one.
like a glacé cherry in it. I want the
There's no
big
cherry
one.
on it. There's no cherry on it. It's a big one, and it's a slice, and it's icing on top, and there's jam in the middle.
Four.
Because again, you can also get Bakewell tart without jam in, which is ridiculous, but you can get them apparently.
Four.
Number four. Okay. Caramel shortbread.
Caramel shortbread. Is
So
that
that's
like
shortbread with caramel and then chocolate on top.
that's millionaire's shortbread?
Millionaire shortbread, same thing. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you had time on your hands doing the research.
What caramel shortbread? Where I got it from.
Three.
Three. Okay. Carrot cake.
Oh, you
That is a
did.
slice. That is the slice of a cake with the ice and everything. Like, not an individual one, a slice. These are all, unless specified, these are all slices of a big cake. Let's make that clear.
I've gone too high too early. Two. Because it's
Oh
better than
shit.
those two. I know it's for me it's
It is,
better.
yeah. Right. This is one that is individual cakes now, but this is the only one. The butterfly cakes. You know the ones where you
Oh,
get used to your
no
mum used to
shit.
make them.
Seven.
Seven. Right.
Terrible.
Okay.
What an awful. They like also with what's
They're
the
kind of like mini
stuff?
Victoria sponges, aren't they? Kind of like,
Yeah,
you've
it's
got
boring.
jam and then buttercream with the.
It's the buttercream, isn't it? That I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're not a fan of the buttercream, mate?
I
It's
don't
so
think
good.
so. Was that what was it? Butterfly cake.
Yeah, butterfly cakes. Yeah. You cut
Yeah,
the middle out of it and then you cut it in two and you put it on
I
top.
know
Yeah.
what it is. I'm writing it down.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I want to get. I've on my pad. I've got a nice little ordering
You got the
system
list of it.
there.
Okay. Lemon drizzle.
Oh, fuck off. Eight.
Wow, that's controversial. I like lemon drizzle cake with a nice cup of
No,
coffee.
no. I'm lemon
No?
desserts. Get in the bin. Don't
Oh,
understand it.
really? Okay.
Don't like them. No, lemon desserts. Like don't. Yeah.
Well, you've got
What
numbers
did you?
one, five, and six left.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Coffee and walnut cake.
Ooh.
That's a classic UK. That's like my nan used to make that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Five.
Five. Chocolate brownie.
Yep, one. Good.
I mean, that's up
Happy.
for debate about how you could interpret chocolate brownie, to be fair.
No, we're
I think
good.
you've actually done well here, to be fair, because the last one, this is the one, Swiss roll.
Oh yeah, that's settling into six, isn't it? That's not
Six.
even English.
I actually think you've actually probably got it all right. So,
I think yeah,
I
I'd
mean,
say
I'd be putting
so.
Swiss roll bottom. I'd be putting Swiss roll bottom. But anyway, so Tom's gone for chocolate brownie number one,
Yeah,
which definitely would be my number one at all. Carrot cake number two.
that is bang on. I would if I had just that list, that'd be one and two.
Yeah. Three, millionaire shortbread.
See this, I do like
Four,
millionaire shortbread, but I'm not always the big caramel fan.
yeah. Four, Bakewell
No,
tart.
so this is where I might switch.
Yeah. Five, coffee and walnut cake. Six, Swiss roll. Seven, butterfly cakes. Eight, lemon drizzle.
Hey, I smashed that.
You
Absolutely
have to be
smashed
fair.
it.
Mine would
Um,
be mine would be number one, carrot cake. Number two, Bakewell tart.
See, yeah, the like big Bakewell tart is severely underrated. So that's where I'm thinking I would move that up.
I
So
see. For me, I just don't. I'm
or
not a fan
retreat.
of chocolate brownie. I just don't think for me, I'd go for it. The traditional English, like British cup of tea, like afternoons. I just don't want to go brownie. Like, just not for me. That wouldn't be for
So
me at all.
so
Lemon
good.
drizzle would be though. You see, you've got that down the bottom. Coffee walnut cake has to be really good, and it's okay. The butterfly cakes, I'm with you because I nearly went Victoria sponge, but we had a bit of that last week, so I thought butterfly cakes is the equivalent of like that. Swiss roll
Mm,
obviously is shit. Chocolate brownies can be really bad, but they also can be really good. But yeah, no, I'm very fair play to you with
So
that one. But I'm gonna hold you to that
if
in a year's time. I'm gonna look back on that and see where
chocolate
you got.
brownie, as long as it's like gooey, I'm not a cakey guy.
No, see, that's the thing. I just think for me with chocolate brownies, the biggest problem that I face with them is that I feel like I've had more bad ones than good ones, so it gives them a bad name.
Mm,
I feel like they can do them really badly, like just real plain and boring, nothing to them. Whereas I feel like you can't really do a bad millionaire shortbread or carrot cake. I feel like, no, I'm not saying that. I've had some bad carrot cakes, to be fair. Not as many as bad brownies, though.
yeah, you just well, brownies are just everywhere, aren't they? That's the thing.
That's the
It's
problem,
a
isn't it? Yeah, is that
yeah,
everyone tries
it's
to do
too
one.
prevalent, aren't they? And they like,
It's just
okay,
never
cool.
something I pick on a menu either at a restaurant, ever. I'd always go for
That's
something
the
else.
thing. Desserts are not good at restaurants. I feel like there's
Well, I
a
don't know. Some of
epidemic
them are good.
of like,
Some of them are good. A nice apple crumble at a good restaurant. Phew. Yes, please.
but
Maybe
that's
that's
what
what we
we're
should do
waiting
next
for.
week.
Literally,
Next
it's
week we should
like
do warm desserts next week. Crumble. Oh, crumble, sticky toffee pudding. Oh,
we
oh.
were having this discussion yesterday actually because we were out for dinner with Chloe's like some of Chloe's family and then her friends and um, so there's another British lad that's dating one of her friends. She's Mexican, obviously Chloe's Honduran. So it was like interesting to see the custard debate in terms of custard with apple pie or apple crumble or fruit crumble or whatever.
Mm,
So, and would you have hot or cold custard on your apple pie or apple crumble?
hot.
Hot, which is bangingly correct, yes.
Of course
But
it is.
there is
There's
the
no other thing going.
argument of like having cold from my significant other is that it chills it down so she can eat it like straight away. And I was like, it's a finite amount. Like, no. I was like,
No,
you
because you
want
have ice
piping
cream if you
hot
want that.
custard?
You have ice
Yeah,
cream if you want
exactly.
that.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, Dan, this is where we were also we crossed paths is what kind of custard are you having? Are you going to be a Waitrose Madagascan vanilla custard?
Yeah,
Are you going to get a normal kind of yellowy one? Or are you going to get
yeah.
like
Posh.
birds? You going
No, posh. The
posh?
posher the better. Yeah,
No, definitely
yeah.
not. I like fucking out of a can, bosh, off we go. Yeah.
No, only because I don't like the fact it's like nuclear yellow.
I like that. I don't know why. I'm like, yes, let's give me that all day. I see the
Mm,
argument out, not out of a can, and this is portrayed to all foods from cans. Okay, is it tastes too like metal.
yeah. I don't.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I'm not a fan of that bird's custard. I
You're
had too
not.
much of it when I was younger, I think. Mm.
If you, I think it grounds you. It's like
It grounds you, brings you back down to earth, if you just shut it. Yeah.
That's exactly what it should be. But yeah, birds, little birds, custard, lovely job. Mm-mm-mm. I'm happy with that list. Good list.
No, mate, to be fair to you, good list. Hats off to you. I think you've done well with
It's
that. Although, to be fair, I
always
didn't
the
put many curveballs in there. I think they're all okay choices. I mean, Swiss rolls, shit.
all
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Yeah,
I
like
think,
Swiss roll. If you're gonna have a roll, have like, is it an Arctic roll or an Alaska roll?
yeah, the one with the ice cream in it.
The one with the ice cream in it is so much better. It's insane.
Correct.
Or just cold desserts. Have a Viennetta. Classic.
But they still exist.
Hmm.
Really?
Yeah, they must do. There must be loads of different flavors as well, no? I can't even spell
Did you do a
Viennetta.
Biscoff one? Surely they should do a Biscoff one of those.
Oh, that'd be good. Viennetta.
Tell of a showered life
Mm.
over here.
Can you still get a Viennetta? Of course you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never looked out for
Yeah,
it.
for Amazon, mate.
Imagine that. How cool.
Viennetta flavors. Yeah, birthday cake, caramel, vanilla, mint ice cream. Mm. Why haven't they done a Biscoff one? How
They
interesting.
should do.
They should do. I remember it used to be only £1, didn't they? Pretty good things. We used to have one of them.
Yeah.
That's a classic, like British thing to wheel out after a Sunday lunch. Get the Viennetta
Mm.
out, lovely, and then you try and like cut it correctly. Well, I was surprised Red Velvet didn't make that cake list, by the way.
I don't know. Red Velvet is just so overrated.
We
Unbelievably
had Red
so.
Velvet yesterday. I don't like the fact that the frosting is always cream cheese frosting,
Cream
so
cheese. Yeah.
it's a little bit too savory for me. I'm like, no, I want sweet
I
on
just think
sweet.
it's. I don't. Is it supposed to be chocolate? red
It's got
coloured
chocolate.
chocolate
It's got
sponge.
chocolate. It's got chocolate in it. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Don't know. I don't
Mm.
need that in my life. Don't need it in my life, mate. Nah, not a
Fair
fan of
enough.
red velvet stuff. I think it's a bit of a novelty thing. I think it's overdone,
Mm.
in my opinion. I like the classics. The ones I mentioned, I do like a lot of them. Again, I do like a lemon drizzle. I know you slagged it off, but I think if there's enough sugar on top and it's just that nice blend. All I think when I have it is if I was having a cup of tea right now, like I'm not a big tea drinker, right? I'm not. But it's not the sort of thing you have a cup of coffee with. You have a cup of tea with that. And it's just something about it. It just works with lemon drizzle cake and a cup of tea. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm
Fair
just old
enough.
fashioned and British. Maybe that's what the problem is.
You are old fashioned.
Whereas if I was to have a more chocolatey thing, I could have that with a coffee. But I feel like a lemon or a carrot cake, I'm like, it needs to be a cup of tea. I don't know why. Very strange. Very odd. But anyway, that's all the fitness chat this week. Sorted.
All done. Boom. Yeah, we've
Nailed it.
actually got some vague. Well, actually, I don't know. We'll talk about this next week because we went to Lucky Cat yesterday, and that's a Chinese restaurant, which got me thinking about like what is the best shitty like normal takeaway. Mm.
Indian, by mile.
Is it Indian? You think Indian? Whether it's Indian
Yeah,
or
maybe
Chinese
Chinese.
or fish and chips or what's the staple? If you're not in London, what's the staple? It's like your local chippy, your local Indian, your local Chinese. It's not like a local Thai, is there? That's not a thing. That
No,
didn't
they're the
used to be.
three, aren't
We're,
they?
we're
They're the
thinking
three.
when we were about 10 years old, right? Like it's Friday
Yeah.
night. Oh, what we're gonna get? Blah 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 blah. It'd be one of those three, correct?
Yeah. I think Domino's comes into that a little bit now,
Okay,
doesn't it?
pizza. Yeah,
A
yeah,
bit.
okay. Yeah, that comes
But
into
not
the
pizza, it's Domino's, isn't it?
well,
It's not like, again, I don't think they're
not
not
where
good
I
at
live.
pizza.
Not where I live. Domino's didn't really exist.
No,
Mm.
not where I did either, but I think now it is a bit more of a
Yeah,
part of
shitty.
the, yeah.
McDonald's. McDonald's is that? I wouldn't
Nah.
know if we put it in that kind of bracket.
I used to get McDonald's every time I used to. My mum and dad used to drop us off. We used to, because my parents were split up, we used to meet up. We used to have McDonald's every couple of weeks on Friday night. That was always our little thing, our little treat. Yeah.
That just
Nah,
reminds me of
those are
you
the days.
remember the swimming pool like canteen? Did you ever used to have
Yeah.
like swimming lessons and then you'd have like swimming
Yeah.
pool food afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was weird. And weird
Yeah.
like plasticky carton things that you like the way the burger comes in. It was awful. But
Yeah.
I'd eat one now to be fair. But yeah, I'd quite like it. But yeah, it was
Yeah. I think
atrocious.
I I just don't have that like McDonald's. I just don't have that desire. I know a lot of people even our age now love it still, and I'm like, you not growing taste buds yet? Like it's not that. Like,
It's like, yeah,
I don't get it.
it's not great. It fills a hole sometimes. And that's about it. It'd be like on a night
I just
out, and I know it's going to turn up within
always,
10 minutes.
yeah. I'm always disappointed after having one. Always. I'm like,
Mm.
that was
Yeah.
pointless. It was a waste of calories. Like, that's what I think sometimes. I'm like, it was a waste of fucking 1,500 calories. I'd rather have a better burger. Um, I just feel like you feel like shit afterwards. It never really fills you up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just like nutrientless food. Just you can tell it's not really done anything for you. Anyway, but yeah.
Anyway, then. All right. Well, I need to workshop what. Well, actually, we'll talk about partial ranges. This just threw up on my Instagram
That's how I
because it
train all the
was
time.
it is
No.
in your MO. That's why I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
Um, it was a post with three heavy hitters of the let's say mechanics world. Mike Israetel, Brett Contreras, and you know him as your friend of mine, Dr. Joel Seaman. Yeah, are they all doctors, by the way? Brett's not, is
Yes.
he? He's PhD. Is he doctor now?
But like he's a PhD, yeah.
He must be PhD, isn't he? Fake
Yep.
doctors. At least
Yeah.
those that I feel like I know Dr. Mike, he always puts doctor at the front, doesn't he? I feel like
Uh-huh.
Brett doesn't use doctor. He just says PhD, doesn't it? That annoys me
Yeah.
when the people aren't MDs and they use doctor. Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. You know what it does, don't you?
Yeah, well,
Maybe it's because I stopped at masters and I didn't
yeah.
want to go do my PhD, and
Well,
then
it'd be the only reason I do a PhD is to call myself
was
doctor.
together.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, very true. You'll be like,
It'd be easy to do a
right,
medical degree.
I can do a philosophy. Stat. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Anybody a doctor? You'll be like, yeah, I can write a paper
Yeah,
on that.
I'm a doctor. Yeah,
That's literally.
on a plane where someone's having a heart attack. We need a doctor. I'm a doctor. Doesn't
I can think
count.
of anything worse now. Could you imagine? Like just me going back in that classroom to learn Spanish was hard enough. Imagine
Yeah.
going back to uni. Um,
Oh,
Anyway,
no.
there was I think so. It was a Brett Contreras. He does a lot of reaction videos. I don't do many reaction videos because I tend to think it's content stealing. But I understand why people do them.
Yeah.
What's your opinion actually on reaction videos?
Come up with your own fucking content. I'm not saying as you.
Yeah,
I don't get. I just think it's. I think it's riding on someone else's viewpoint and opinion, and you're giving your opinion. Just give your opinion. You don't need their video ahead of it. Just say, saw a video the other day. It was fucking stupid of this guy doing this, this, and this. This is what I think about it. Do that. Do that because I think you come across better in it. I don't like the only reaction videos that are funny are the ones that Paul Lima does when he's doing the fucking
yeah.
podcasts and he's like, these guys shouldn't have podcasts. I just think brilliant. It should always be done from a it should always be done from a humor standpoint, in my opinion, with that. Um I just think those guys are smart enough and clever enough to make content that doesn't need that. In my opinion, I've never recommended people do it. I don't particularly think it's
Yeah,
a
I've never
great
really done
look.
them. I kind of like I thought about it a few times of like trying to do a reaction to like stupid things or stuff like that. I've done it, I think, a couple of times on like footballers doing ridiculous things. But it's always the case of like, all right, we just don't know context. That's the only. That's always the thing of like, well, especially workout things. It's like I don't know
Yeah.
context.
Well, because
Like,
it's funny because I was doing some of my rehab today in the gym. And at the moment, all I'm doing is like these like low box squats. When I say low, I mean like fucking box is 6 inches, right?
yeah,
And I must just look like I'm an idiot. But I'm like, if it's part of my rehab plan and like my knees hurt and I want to make sure that I do it properly and I don't want to fuck it up. To look at, you'd think this guy's a fucking idiot. What's he doing? And it did make me think that today when I was doing it. I was like, I bet people looking at me thinking, well, that's not gonna do anything, mate. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not stupid. Yeah, I do think there's a bit of that because Joey Swoll does it. Did you see any of his videos? Joey Swoll, where
yeah,
he does
yeah.
the I like those videos because they're the reaction to someone being horrible.
Be a dick, yeah, that's the kind of thing. I
Yeah,
quite like
so
so there's a couple of there's the reaction. I guess it's the fitness kind of world of reaction videos. It always seems like it's spiteful. I know there's
yeah,
some people going, "This is awesome, yeah, amazing, well done, cool, kudos, blah 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 blah." I kind of get that, but the reaction. There's a few YouTubers I follow who have just built their whole premise and their music reactions. I quite like watching a reaction of somebody who's really well versed in like music. Maybe it's just because I'm not in that like
mm,
industry. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's people
maybe,
not in the industry enjoy them. So it could be that. Not too
yeah,
sure.
maybe.
Because yeah, there's this woman who I find slightly annoying, but I can't not stop watching her stuff of reaction videos, to, especially because it's like metal videos, and it'll be like classical like singer reacts to Avenged Sevenfold, and it'll be like, what the fuck's
Yeah,
this? But then she'll break it down from like a classical point of view, as like what's happening and music teachery
yeah,
kind of stuff. It's quite interesting from that, but yeah, yeah, it's an interesting one. I did, but there's other ones that really, really, really fucking annoy me. So there's a drummer who basically, if anybody was on screen, they basically just they're here if I'm at the bottom corner and he's just watching, and then he
yeah.
just like does that. He just doesn't say anything. All he says is "wow," and that's it. And then he posts it, and I'm like, that's not your content. That's somebody else has made that video of themselves
Yeah.
drumming, and you've just gone "wow," and then that's it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
I
fuck? Don't
just
even give
I
your
just don't.
opinion. Annoying. Anyway.
I don't watch much of it. That's why I think I don't have really a big opinion on it. I think
Hmm.
I always encourage people to create the sort of content that they like to watch and they
To
like to
watch it.
indulge
Yeah.
in. So I kind of go, well, if that's the case, then crack on. But I just can't imagine that they're doing that. I think they're doing it because they've been told, oh, get
Anyway,
good engagement. No, no.
Mike Israel has done a reaction video of to I think The Rock doing partial ranges, and then Brett Contreras. This is where it gets. What's the inception? Brett Contreras has done a reaction video of Mike Israel's reaction video of watching The Rock, and then Joel Seedman has done a reaction video, obviously because it's proving backing up his point, right? So that's the only reason why Joel Siemens like come on the thing. So Mike Ustel has offered his opinion on why The Rock does partial or is doing partial ranges, but says why it's a heap of shit, basically, from his perspective, and saying it's not going to build like muscle growth. And it's like, okay, cool. And then Brett Contreras has come in and gone, all right, maybe he's probably like me, has trained arse to grass for 30 years. And at this point, some of the joints are a little bit more beat up, and therefore you might get a decent amount of stimulus anyway from doing partial ranges. Also, context. We don't know his whole fucking plan. It could, like, I write in partial reps for, like, I literally name them sports squats because I only want them to go for quarters or halves and stuff like that. And if anybody, like you in the gym, right? People will think you look like a fucking dick. Right? It's absolutely fine. But then Joel Siebens made it of like, oh, look, the Rock only fucking does like 90-degree eccentric isometrics, so he's clearly a genius. This is what I've been saying for years. Brett agrees with me. Look at this, cool. And Brett was like, "Oh yeah, my quads get absolutely ripped up and lit from these partial ranges." So, okay, this seems very odd, but also a weird like misinformation kind of journey that we went on. I'll get the post up. It's quite interesting. What is your opinion on partial ranges, Daniel Meek?
Well, it's like you said, they're relevant at the right time for the right people, right? Like I said, I've been doing them. I've been doing box squats. I've been doing squats to a box where I'm not allowed to go below 90 degrees parallel because
Mm.
my physio knows a lot more than I do about repairing meniscus, has told me to do it. I'll do it then. And I said it to him. I said, whatever I need to do to get my knee back to full health in the next 6 to 9 months, I'll do it. Tell me, I'll just do it. And I think that's the key thing from my angle with it is I hate that I don't hate that view of it, but if you know your niche, you know who you work with, I think you can be very clear on all these sorts of things and you can say this sort of stuff. But I think with something like partial reps, and the other one that's coming about that I've seen a few posts about is the whole like partial lengthened to for hypertrophy. And it's that whole thing of majoring the minors and going, well, are they that important? Well, only alongside doing full range of motion, proper training throughout the whole, like, are they going to help a tiny bit? Maybe. I just think we have to be very careful when we deal in those absolutes. Like we always talk about with Joel Siemens, a prime example. Do I think that every person needs to train arse to grass? No. Do I think that every person doesn't? No. I, as with all this stuff, I think that coaches in an attempt to try and shout the loudest and reach the most amount of people for followers are saying things that like that and doing things like that. And I just don't think that it benefits anyone in the long run. Speaking like that and speaking those absolutes, I think it's a case of being very clear on, for example, if it's my niche, right, I would say, do I think that the majority of the time my niche should train partial range? No. Do I think that there may be a small group of people, a subsection of them who, when recovering from injury or when doing certain movements, would benefit from doing partial versus full? Yes. Sweet. That's the end of the discussion. Right. Just know your niche. Just know what needs to be done. But yeah, it's just I just don't like those sorts of crowds at the moment. They're just doing it.
Yeah, it was like no shade at Dr. Mike Uso. He's a legend. Reaction videos, this is what Brett was saying on his post. Reaction videos are a new way of social media and shouldn't be looked in a disrespectful fashion. I don't know whether that means reaction videos shouldn't be disrespectful
Yeah, so yeah, you
or
say
you
that, but then
shouldn't
I'm
look
sure that
down
he's had
upon.
one. I'm sure he's had a reaction video done on his stuff that he didn't like.
100%.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all well and good saying that, but if someone had to go at what you were talking about, you'd be like, "Oh no, don't agree with that. You can't say that." I'm like, I'm sure I've seen him actually come out about a reaction video, and someone and they said, "You don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, yeah, I have. I've seen him do a reaction video on a
Yeah,
reaction video previously of like saying, "Don't know what we're talking about." You know, like what he's on about, like all this kind of shit. It's like, come on, Brad.
I mean, I just don't like him anyway. Ever since I heard you hear all the stories about him, I don't fucking like him
Oh
anyway.
yeah, I've heard all those from almost the horse's mouth. So yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I unfollowed all this stuff, and I just don't listen to him anyway. From
Mm.
that point, just
I think from a certain point of view, I follow him a little bit. So but yeah, I think it's a case of they're all smart fucking lads, apart from Joel Seaman. And they understand what they're fucking doing. So it's a case of like use partials when needed, but it's kind of like partial reps, like 1.5 reps, that kind of stuff. I use them fairly frequently with the people who want to grow glutes a little bit more, or like you're getting those kind of pulse squats. So I do those for like, but it's such a weird. So partials can be used at like different loads, but I'm not looking for that kind of end of range, like hypertrophy of the muscle. I'm looking at like bounce in like tendon at the bottom of a
right.
squat for stuff like that. But then that's like partial at the bottom, and then it's bounce, 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 and get out. And then, yeah, generating force in probably the position that you're more likely to jump, or, for example, golf swing, where you've got that little bit of torque in your hip and then you come round. So that tends to happen, but you can only really mimic it through like, let's say like, I don't know, certain quarter squats or kind of Anderson squats in partial ranges. So yeah, it's concentric first, by the way, if anybody wants to know that. So yeah, concentric first squats, which are very humbling and fucking hard. But yeah, reaction
Extremely hard.
videos. You're not a fan, not a fan. I think I saw one of your clients talk about one as well, and I think the same thing has gone through my head previously. Is he an American guy? Joshua? He one of
Yeah,
your
Josh. Yeah,
clients?
he
Yeah,
posted
yeah.
that. He's like, I don't. He's like, he doesn't like him. He doesn't get
I
it.
think I think it was a similar. I think he's got a similar ethos to how I do my
Yeah.
stuff, and yeah, and I was like, that's exactly the reason why I don't try to, because I just don't know context. And for most people's programs, we're smart enough to think of the reason why they are doing something and give them the benefit of the
Mm.
doubt, and not just go, this looks like a heap of shit, and gone like that. So I think that's the case of like, I don't want to
Yeah.
just react based off something. There are some obviously moronic stuff, but yeah, come up with your own shit. Which leads me into Dan. I feel like I need to um, just get your opinion more than anything else, and see whether you can think and give me some ideas for next series of daily challenges. Obviously, you've seen the first one. I think it has enlightened me into my content, but I will continue doing them because I think they're quite funny or quite fun to do.
Mm.
Basically, is there anything that's coming to your brain? Obviously, I can continue if anybody doesn't know, I've been doing can I lift 100 kilos on these completely random exercises. I picked 12 kind of random from one of my continuums, um, and put them in a colorful spin wheel, spin the wheel, it chooses what I do. Lovely. Very simple. Very simple idea, but it's
I mean, I'd
been
like to see you do some sort
fairly
of challenge on the
interesting.
cardio machines, just because I think it would be more painful.
So yeah, so
Kilometer.
this is the obviously in my notes. Anybody doesn't keep their notes of like what their content ideas is mad when they're just walking around.
Yeah.
So I've put one down is if anybody fucking goes and does this before I do it, I'm gonna be pissed. Um, so
Mate, if I
I'm
know
te
online coaches, and I do, they're going to copy it. So,
um, I've written, I'm testing the 1RMs with the exercises no one cares about. So I
yes.
think,
Yeah. Yeah.
because obviously from your level 3, you go like 70% of
Lateral
your
raise.
RM or
Lateral
lat
raises.
raise. It's just like literally on TikTok, someone wrote that was like petition to do 100 kilo lateral raises in the next one. That's just like brilliant. So I think that might be something. I've just got to pick a bunch of like exercises that people that are always like your C's and like your D exercises that no one really gives a shit, and I'll try and get my 1RMs and see what they are, because
Yeah.
that'll look ridiculous if I'm honest.
Yes.
So that's one of them. Then I've got so for like cardio or whatever, in terms of the gym, I think it'll be interesting to do how close to elite am I in terms of
Mm.
if or how close to the world record can I get? Say if it's like a row or like 100-meter row, how much
Yeah, I
percentage
think
am I
I'd want to
off?
see the 100 meters sprint on the row, ski erg,
Here we go.
like the running
The
thing. What's
running
it
thing,
called? Not a
100-meter
treadmill, but what's it
sprints.
called? The curve. 100 meters. Like which one?
How close to the world record can I get?
Yeah.
Or just doing 100 meter sprints, how close to the world record am I? Well, yeah, those are the things I'm
And do it on
workshopping.
and do it on like even the cardio machine, even like the hand one. Like do it on all of the like random ones as well. Like
Okay, I have to go to some other gyms. We
I'd
don't have
say,
all of
yeah.
these. Then I'll be like, what are you doing?
Do it on like a really shitty static bike. You know, like the
Yeah,
really
yeah,
crap ones you
yeah.
get in hotel gyms rather than a watt bike. Just like,
I'm just gonna have to get like a membership to Pure Gym for the day, aren't I?
yeah,
And just go and do it.
just do them all
Just
in
like
one. Yeah,
all in
that'd
one
be quite
stint.
funny.
All
I'd love
right,
to
we've
see
got a
that.
couple of ideas that we're going through. Anything else? feeling. I feel like cardio machines. I want to do the 1RM one because I think that's just stupid. Um,
Yeah. I'm trying to
hmm.
think of a variation of what you're currently doing.
Well, yeah, that's what they say. Like my mate Lucas was like, "Do 200 kilos?" And I was like, "Brilliant, one lift
Yeah,
only."
well, yeah.
It's,
No, I think
I was
I'm
like, "I can
thinking more
deadlift
along the
that."
lines of
Yeah.
like body weight. I'm more thinking along the lines of body weight.
So there's one I do want to do, but it's a little bit nichey and like scientific-y, I think. But it's also something I beat a lot is unilateral versus bilateral. Can I lift whatever I do
Yeah.
unilateral on one leg or on like one arm or anything like that? And is it like pull-ups or lat pull downs? How close is half or like it kind
Mm.
of skewed? So if you're doing like a single arm lat pull down, how close is that to bilateral pull downs, stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like obviously single arm press to bilateral press. In terms of science, it's not really a challenge though. It just feels more like a science, but I can make it into a challenge. That's the thing.
Make it
So,
fun, yeah.
short to bilateral. But in terms of variations of what I'm doing currently, it's an interesting one. So in where I've taken it, workshopped it is like so this guy called Sam, what is his name? Sam Jota. What was his name? He does the golf ones where he's like, I'm playing his first ones that I saw was like, I'm playing a par five with every club in my bag until I make a par with every single club. He plays the same hole every single day, and he'll be like, "All right, we have driver today. Cool. I have to make a par. I'm not allowed to move on from this hole or like move on to this club until I make a par." And it'll be like day four, tick. All right, then he moves to Freewood, and he has to go all the way through his bag, and it'll be like, "All right, he has to blade a fucking 60 degree like twice and to get anywhere near it." And it's quite fun. Then he did par fours, then he did par threes, and now he's trying to like he's doing some other stuff, but it obviously took him fucking forever. It was I found it quite fun. So, now he's trying to birdie every single hole on a course. So he turns up, he's not
Oh,
allowed to move on to the next hole until he birdies it. But he's only doing like daily. Obviously he's not. I think people had the curtain. I did get it on like the second time I filmed it, and I changed my hat and I changed my t-shirt a little bit. But obviously on the first one, I just knocked out six. They were like, "Oh, have you filmed?" I like, "Oh, what are you filming today?" I was like, "I've already filmed them." I'm not there every day, believe it or
Well,
not.
people don't know how
People
content
don't know
works, do
how it
they?
works. I was like, I haven't done it every day. I didn't go on Sunday night and film it. Trust me.
I've just realised there's a few I've missed out here. Which ones have I missed here?
I don't know.
I'm on there. I just what you did in a back squat.
Oh yeah.
That pull down. I'm not seeing this one.
I
How have
got
I missed
some.
these?
I got some beef on that. Well, they've been every day, mate. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, as
Um,
in it's not popped up on my thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I was quite surprised because I thought I was guaranteed to get shit up from you for every single one. So yeah,
Nah, please tell me you did the lat pull down one.
yeah, I did that at the Yeah, that was
You did that. I'm
successful.
watching it now. I'm just trying to see
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Just trying to check.
that's successful. But I have the beef I got was I don't know, it was in person. It was in person. It wouldn't comment. Was disappointed. I didn't do a straight bar.
No, let you off that.
I did a neutral bar because I needed some. I think that pull down was after like I'd failed a couple of times, and I was like, oh, I need some positive. No.
Yeah. Have you done the chop yet?
That's today, mate. I'm releasing that at like 5 o'clock.
I can't wait to see you try
I
the
feel like
fucking
you're gonna
mover.
get annoyed with this as well, though, because Pete behind the
Cheating.
curtain down, um, the stack doesn't go up to 100 kilos.
No, you lie.
So I was like, I had to change it. So for that one only, I had to go a bit American on it.
Yeah. Oh, you
So I
see, this
was,
is where you cheat though. You do the split squat, but you're doing the safety thing, and you're gonna do that, and yeah, it's
I've
cheating.
changed it around. I could go back and do split squats with every
Cheating.
fucking equipment if you really want. There we go. There's another
Cheating.
one.
Cheating.
I'm going to do split squats at 100 kilos with every single bit of equipment. I'm going to do a bench
250
press
kilo
with
dumbbells.
every.
250 kilo
Yeah,
dumbbells.
I can do that. Fuck that. That's fine. Every piece of equipment. Every piece of equipment.
Yeah.
At 100 kg. We can do that. It's fine. All
I think you should.
fine.
You should do it. I
All
look forward to
fine.
it.
So sad. So sad. It's like my Friday afternoons are like filming for like 2 to 3 hours doing that. It's so funny.
Well, at least it keeps you busy anyway, mate. So
it keeps you busy, isn't it? It's fine. No, it's fine.
at least you're doing something
All
else.
right. We'll bring this. I don't think I've got anything else that I wanted to go over. I think it was just partial ranges. Anything, any business, anything that you wanted to vaguely chat about?
No, mate, nothing from me, mate. No. I've got playing golf tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. Play matches.
I'm playing golf on Friday, so everybody can be excited about that. So
I'll be looking over your score when it comes in on Friday.
you will. Probably won't be great as well, though. Hard course. I don't know.
Let's see.
We'll see. I would love to break 80 on that course because it's like a championship course. So that's the target.
Yeah.
But it's a fucking hard course. I think it's part 72. But yeah, if I break 80, I'd be very happy. I broke 80 last week, didn't I? So
you got
but I'm not playing as much as you, Dan. But this is the time to score well in England because the ground is soft.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty much no rollout, which helps me endlessly with my tee shots.
Of course it does, yeah. It's always all over the fucking place.
All carry, and then it's just like, the driver works, we're all right. Yeah, but it probably not. So, all right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
See you later.